For all you out there.
Did we get balloons tower defense 7 before GTA 6? Might be his Monkey. He's got
Monkey,
6.
he's turning the turret off. Oh my god, the run of Monkey is unstoppable. Turrets can't ruin this guy's mood, and he just 2-0'd Alla with ease.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Really well this year. No one has really questioned Pays and his ability. As I gotta say, Monkey was spotted doing his first 3 camp spot, but was not spotted mid.
There we go. That's the aggressiveness of Team WE right there. Karis lands the root. Monkey flies in.
So playing with full info, but a potential dive could come in. Vampire still 2. He should hit 3 though soon. He's probably 1 man way away.
Right, here we go. We're going to try and get those concussive blows stacked up, but the turret aggro's being juggled. Missing will be traded out there for Taeyun's life. But Pace is able to grab the kill while just using that prio so well. Monkey knows those timers and has the troops coming to assist him just like that. And the one positive side for the flip for WE is that Sion is probably the best 1v2 weak side champion, especially we saw in Split 1 when it was so high just because of that very fact. As we might see more mid-aggression come across here onto Scout. Does burn the Weaver's Wall. Vampire tries to flash after him.
Area traditionally where Shen's been playable, where we see him, but now Alla.
Yeah, Monkey trying to set up for another pick play here. They can't get the knock-up, though. Alla gets the flash out, but it doesn't matter. Monkey with the tunneler has more than enough damage. Willing to sack these grubs to pick off Alla on the weak side.
I love this play, though, because, again, like, this grub fight, Cube would have to base TP and then come with no ult, whereas Alla could just push and join. So making a play on the global, onto the Shen, and look at how easy they made that look, too. Again, WE executing really cleanly early on. As they continue to impress, and Monkey's
bringing out, though, towards this blue buff. The grub's already gone.
Where's Alla?
We already have TPs come across. Cube is in. There's a Chains of Corruption down. They're going to try and burn through the Scion with 4 members, and Cube is just picked off and sectioned down. Monkey trying to avoid that Braum passive. Will try and trade back in, but gets stunned up by Shun and pops Crescent Guard, so Karis can't get any damage back out and cannot save Monkey. Seismic Shove not going to land from Scout, but they might have their pick nonetheless as Karis gets far too low. The concussive blow Q nearly finds its mark. Vampire trying to desperately peel for Karis as Shun dives under the turret, knowing that Stand United is there to bail them out. And there's the JDG that's been more gold, more plates. But Shun, on the flip side, able to stop that dragon stacking that would have been a pretty big win con for WE as this game progresses.
Yeah, again, this is the mid game where JDG should be stronger. WE for sure set behind after that last set of plays. They're going to focus on this top side. As Monkey going to find missing.
Still safe.
That felt like a split call from WE.
Now Vampire, he's jumping in. 2 versus 3 right now. They have the Weaver's Wall. There's the Pantheon ultimate. Monkey joins the fight, but it's Taeyun actually flashing after and killing off Pace, and that just sets off the whole chain reaction. WE playing with that confidence again, but Monkey's taking a lot of damage. Here comes the Stand United. Jun with Alla is going to try and join the fight. Alla, though, gets canceled out. Doesn't matter. Vampire falls next. Jun able to keep Karis and Taeyun off the front line. The Crescent Guard blocks all of that damage. True Shot Barrage doesn't find its mark. And we walk away from that fight scarily even.
I mean, JDG, they get a 2-for-1. They're going to get the Rift Herald too, just given the health bars. And kind of want another look at that, because Taeyun did a great job of getting Pays out of the fight early, winning that 1v1, but then was late to kind of join the rest of the fight, rest of the skirmish, which WE played a bit quick. I'm curious if we get a second look, because that felt like a play that WE, if they were able to regroup and play that one a little bit slower, might have been able to win. But JDG, they overextend. They don't kind of retreat back in.
Oh my god, Cube has a genius Scion ultimate. Pays didn't even get to move again. The JDG 80 carry drops at the start of the fight. The huge damage amp for this composition. But they still want to try and fight out with their range. In goes Shun, knocking back Karis, but in flies Vampire, trying to set up Shun, get value out of that Crescent Guard, but Scout is ramping up on this damage as well on the backside of this fight. Karis and Taeyun are trying to hold the line, and with the zombified Cube, they're going to try and knock down Missing. Find another big kill, but Shun goes in onto Taeyun with Alla right up in front, and he lands a 2-man taunt, and Scout flies it off his own Weaver's Wall to seal the fate of WE.
WE just don't have the damage right now. And that fight could not have gotten off to a better start, because Cube had a huge connect on the Pays, who of course was sumless. But WE playing out the rest of that one. They aren't playing patiently enough against this JDG comp, and the strength of the draft that JDG has right now is paying off. This feels like Karis is tickling people at the moment.
Just a little bit too late to some of these plays, these good ideas.
What's
going on live here?
Back to live.
Oh my gosh.
United. Goodbye, Monkey.
Monkey and Vampire just picked off. There's the threat of those global ultimates showing through, but Karis on the backside is going to shut down Scout. Well, no Realm Warp, no Flash, so he gets to play his own little version of 007 Spy. And
They gank
well,
Pays mid. They might be able to.
I mean, Pace can't try and stop Karis, or he dies, so Karis is actually
Okay.
able to walk item breakpoints. He'll be a big enough threat. And it looks like Karis just Realm Warped his way and picking off Scout. Again, this has been the problem with Scout, these side wave assignments. He's been getting caught too often.
Yeah, I was really critical of Scout, rightfully so, during the Weibo series. This Varus, I have for sure seen the light of day in the earlier stages of this one.
Oh, we're going after Ala again.
Shen.
Good way to take away the Shen, the Stand United. Send him to the gray screen. This time, Monkey and Cube able to get that one done.
This game's close and within reach for WE.
Oh, here we go. Scout with the reaction play on the other side of
TP
the map
coming
towards
in.
Karis. Great dodge on the seismic shove. Karis is going to be able to buy enough space until shoot. Flashes right in. Gets the knock up the Seraph Shield. The dodge on the Braum Q and the Glacial Fissure. Karis just knocked off so many valuable ultimates. Cube on the flank. Vampire flashes. Gets the stun. Down onto Scout. This Seraph Shield should not save Scout. The Grand Starlight. Everybody from Team WE pulled up to the party. Knocking down Scout. And what's their grand prize, Cubby? Otacon.
I don't get this play from JDG. I mean, part of me doesn't get it. I feel like if they're more in sync, they might have been able to pull this one off. We do have to pause because Shoot is here. Could Smite steal. They've dragged this one down a bit.
Pace now just joins. The Smite down to 8 HP, but they get it done. So JDG do not threaten the Otacon, and they're going for more here. Who's the comp that plays the map better? Because right now it seems like it's Team WE as they Realm Warp Vampire right on top of Ala. Jun, you do not want to jump into that dumpster fire. Another...
Pace has sums up. It feels like Pace needs summoner spells up in these fights to function. Because he needs help, right? I mean, this Varus can't do it alone. It's really tough to play Varus this game. You need a lot of help from your team to be able to make this one work.
They're going for more here once again. Team WE on the hunt. The Weaver's Wall does block off a lot of the damage dealers. Cube gets thrown under turret by a good seismic shove. So Scout is chunking down this very tanky Scion. WE have to play on the back foot. Meanwhile, all this time, Ala's getting turrets on the top side. When is he going to join that Stand United? He does as the big stun lands down from Cube. Ala flies in, though, only gets Vampire, and this time, Pace gets the free hit and generate more and more damage, but Taeyun, flashing over the wall, finds one kill, gets away from Shun. No, he won't escape him, but Monkey's able to trade him out. It's chaos all across this bottom side river. But
explosive. Pace did burn his flash there, but was able to do a lot of work. He's flashless, though.
Oh, he tries to dive after Pace, but Ala was there to cover him. This time, Pace should not fall. Great sidestep on the Q. Pace this time survives, and now Karis has to pay the toll for his jungler.
Oh, the hands from Pace.
JDG
is decent here. And, okay.
Oh, no, Scout again.
Scout caught.
Again, it's the same reoccurring problem.
Scion, like, God, I have no flash this time, and I need another banger play if I'm to stop this Baron, which is now being started by WE.
Why not? WE. No, so many summoners are off the board here. They also want to force Ala up. So he immediately teleports in. This is still a 5v4 for Team WE, who want to really break the bank and open up this game one. But Baron is really taking its sweet time going down. It was all a fake for WE to find the engage. Going after Pace once again. Vampire gets on top of him. Cube's there as well. There are no summoners on this forest, and the true shot barrage sends him back to base. Team WE spring the trap at Baron, and they're looking to cash all the chips in right now. Shun and Ala on the back foot, but they've got themselves Scout returning with the Weaver's Wall. And once again, we go back to dancing with Baron, but this time WE 5-on-3.
Love the execute on the Pace. Again, Pace, no sums. It's so difficult to fight as this on-hit Varus with no sums. WE's making it look hard as they had a good execute there. They're getting a little bit low.
How do they do this? How do they get to Taeyun or Karis without any of their main damage dealers? Scout has no range to play at, and it's this point at the tip of Monkey's spear that sends another member of JDG down.
Really poor game from Scout. I would usually say it's uncharacteristic, but we have seen Scout have a couple of stinkers here. This is definitely one of them.
Look at Monkey's health bar. Monkey needs to be careful. He needs to be close enough to smite. Ala tries to get the top, but it doesn't land. Monkey's smite range true. Sure, he falls, but Team WE will fight.
He's a caster, right?
Yeah.
You're up a full level on Pace, who's about to dink 15. This is soul point now for WE, which, I mean, given Baron and the pressure they have, is assumed, but again, JDG was so important for them with this mid-game, like, to do something. And we really highlighted the globals from Ala and Scout needing to make plays to get ahead of WE. What do we see this play inside lanes and the Realm Warps and Monkey being too big as Taeyun
no, but Taeyun! That's both summoners down. They teleport in Karis as well. He's immediately going to use the Realm Warp to save Monkey. Ooh. Team WE with a critical mistake, and all is looking to punish it even further. Flashing on top of Karis, who now has to burn another one of his summoners. But the flashes keep on coming. The hits are rolling right now, and Karis and Taeyun are going to fall. An absolute collapse moment for
WE. Now Baron's down, and JDG, they're likely going to take an inhibitor here. Taeyun has 20 seconds on him. Karis won't be up for a bit. I don't think they can end. But no. For sure, inhibitor falls, and yeah, they're going to take that, and that's it. But JDG able to bounce back. I think so.
Yeah, it is. Here's the. Oh my God, Karis is doing a scout impression in the side lanes. What's going on to these carries?
Again, like, look at the way. Do go for the Knight's Vow. Will be some value. Let's see if it pays off.
Also JDG. Paze is also the first person to get to 4 items here. With the Jack Show completed, grabs no screw, taking his Vampire's going to go in. Has the Grand Starfall coming across. They're going after Paze. Does cleanse, does flashback. Cube follows after him. This time, Paze is not protected. He is under threat, and he falls. Karis and Taeyun bring the damage, and just like that, this topsy-turvy game swings back into WEZ's favor. It's only a matter of time before JDG start to crumble under the crushing might of Taeyun and Karis.
That was look at how difficult that fight is for Paze to play out. You got Scion in your face, you have Rise behind you, you have a Grand Skyfall right on top of you too, and all those tools. There's not enough tools to peel for Paze, and I will see if there's enough tools to actually get Shun out of this pit. Monkey's
Scout is getting eviscerated off to the side here by Taeyun, and there's the Rune Prism land. Shun is gonna fall. He doesn't even get a chance to try and steal away that Baron. Just like that.
Flash. It can be a Flash Rune Prison into a Leona combo or a Pantheon 2 over the top, and that's it. So I think WE, odds that they end on this push, very high.
10 seconds, so the fight over the mid wave will start it out here. Unless Cube sees an angle on to Paze, the Realm Warp to the back end. Gotta watch Paze. Will he be protected? Vampire says no. Will the Stay United bail him out? Alla comes flying in. Paze is desperately trying to kite himself back out to safety, but no! He will fall! And Taeyun ramping up on the front side may seal this game's fate, but Scout has a ton of damage of his own. It's only Taeyun and Cube left up. Did Paze buy JDG enough time? It certainly damn looks like it. Taeyun has to have his MVP moment of this game to save this fight, because Cube's health bar is desperately crumbling. Taeyun trying to pump as much damage as he possibly can. This full build Ezreal needs to get the value it possibly can, but instead he lets Cube escape. Scout's going to take the reset, has teleport available.
Scout, who was able to get back TPs and is going to hit that Elder, as you called it. Paze did buy enough time. And now we're going to see, how aggressively does this Ezreal and Scion want to play around this Elder. No smite available, but of course, can try and do some damage.
The wall comes up. They're getting it low. Shun, who lost that big 50-50 Kanavi on Elder, this time is not going to have to 50-50 it at all. He's waiting to see if he can get up on all 5 members, and he does. That is Elder.
Last fight. So like a Baron push for the end with Elder up. Of course, it's a lot of strength, but could be kind of dangerous here, because once Elder expires, I mean, if you're too far up on the map, we could see WE be able to rip it and find that angle on the Paze. That, again, has been so deadly.
Our time to talk in this one, the way it's going, but it does seem like one fight could seal it soon. Is JDG?
I mean, 30 seconds. They can get 2 inhibitors. I don't think they can push Nexus turrets, though, as Karis misses.
Karis gets away from the seismic shove. Not going to get low enough for the Elder to pop him there. Waves are coming up.
20 seconds.
Take down both those inhibitors.
I mean, I'm telling you, once Elder expires, they're like, WE's going. I think this is it for JDG. We're really flipping.
They're on a timer. They're going in now. Still 10 seconds on the Elder. That's a huge side of the from Scout to buy space. They went too early, and now Paze is going to make all of WE pay. The Elders are just popping Team WE across the board as they immediately lose their 2 tankiest members. Elder is gone, but it might have been a fleeting hope. JDG, it's been topsy-turvy all game long, but they're going to try to cool off the hot streak of Team WE and win themselves a 45-minute banger game 1.
Dog pile. Bullet time over the top, whereas the scaling for WE going to be nice, but not a lot of opportunities for them to make plays early. And yeah, curious to see what happens when Silas joins the session. Fury shows its face. I will say this would be a winning duel for the Trundle if you start on top of the Fury.
Waiting. Biding his time. Maybe wants to let the red buff do some of the work, and then he's going to
Let
collapse.
the ego down.
Shun, yep. Going to get the speed up. Trundle, one of the best 1v1 champions. His Monkey's looking to show why. Karis going to swing over first.
Wow.
This is done and dusted. Shun falls to the might of Monkey. First blood, WE.
All right. Monkey using some of that early trading power. I know that, you know, Kelsey Moser, of course, we're blessed to have her help with this for Monkey. I mean, again, this is the second time he's played it. We haven't really seen other junglers taking this. And just curious to see how this one works out.
Got
Monkey's
Monkey
coming.
nearby. Monkey sacrificing a lot of his HP to try and set up a man advantage here for WE. Karis going to shift forward. Both members of JDG have their flashes available. Missy's going to get a huge stun, flash back out. Shun's going to be there to cover. You know, Monkeys and then later on Taeyun, you're in a good spot. WE's bottom lane might be in a pretty precarious one, the way they go for that engage on the Missing. Remember, flashes are down for Missing. The bullet time is up. Vampire is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and the only way out is back to base. Shun is here. The swap has come through for both sides. And the hook's going to land for Vampire. They're going in onto Missing. The Ornhorn's redirected by Cube towards Pays and Shun. They do eat the knockup. Scout's coming across, going to steal his own Ornhorn. Hijacking the play here for WE. In goes Shun, dashing forward, using the target to survive. Gets himself out and gets out to safety. Deadly Flourish going to land, though, onto Pays. Shun, I don't think you can body block for your AD carry here. It's Scout coming over. Line of defense. Curtain call doesn't have the final song for this play on a JDG.
I think that is going to be big for WE to, you know, fight back in these fights. You know, if they're able to play backwards and survive against JDG, I think that's where they're going to be really in that comfort zone and just lean on all the tools and utility that their comp has to threaten the space, right? So, Karis? Okay.
Oh, there's something in my eye. Did something happen?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah. Rub secured, though, for Monkey, and I will say we haven't had a Dragon take yet, which is a little bit
to constantly engage plays. Pretty heads-up one there to force a fight against JDG without that key ultimate.
And again, Vampire, like this 5-series win streak for WE. I think, like
one of the very few first items and is an expensive one. So Pays going to be a big person to play through his. Hello! We've got 2 rogue armies. The Scout's going to be the one that has to flash away from a depth charge.
Okay.
Still teleport. Heads up from Ola, so if we see a fight break out towards this dragon, he TP's in. He will have ultimate advantage. There's no Ornhorn, there's no Emperor's Divine, and that might be just enough for WE to even to slow down and just give this dragon. I mean, it's first one at 13 minutes as well.
Yeah, the dragon stacking is not really going to be a factor this game, which is a little bit unique. Again, haven't seen. I don't think that it's really WE's dragon to take. As again, early on, the strength of the MF, the strength of the Renown.
I've misunderstood the assignment of that itemization. The
That's
assignment for Shun is going to be this Rift Herald, as we're looking for something to try and elevate the kills per minute of this game, but WE, ever so patient, will look to just let Karis cook in this side lane, and that is the big sort of 2-item power spike, right? You want to funnel as much as you can into this Azir, levels and gold-wise, and this is kind of the way that Monkey played last game, just trying to lean into one of his big solo lanes and try to knock down this first turret. But Scout going to hijack himself, a Shuriman shuffle. There's the response, though, from Karis. Pays is nearby, but Scout does not have Vampire. He's going to slow down the pace and earn the WE win on the bot side. Top side, it's Ola finally throwing down the Dominus, and that means that Cube turns into a chicken looking to run back towards the nest. Flash burn to just keep...
Of course, response is from June. You're going to try and take this red buff. Should do so successfully, but can he get out? Oh, never mind.
Monkey got it.
Here. Yeah, no smite. I didn't catch that.
For the Azirin. That melee dominated comp is going to be afraid of this Azir. Maybe they should just fear Vampire. Is missing. Gets a ton of his HP taken away. Shun is close by. Monkey going to have the subjugate up as the bullet time does come across. Monkey uses subjugate to get some health back, but it's not going to be enough as Shun gets himself another reset. Jumping on top of Vampire. He's going to make it a 2-for-1 for the pack. Only thing
I wonder if we can replay that one, as that is Azir into Renekton. You know, I can be nice for Azir. Renekton just kind of has to catch and farm, but you shouldn't be going down getting solo bullet up there. So well played from Karis. Right? Yeah, leads to a dragon secure. I think Dominus was down from forcing Q.
It was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Here, we'll get the replay.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, this is just...
I mean, he's catching, and yeah, he's getting obliterated by Karis on the Azir. Oh, that's ugly. Okay. Well, yeah.
His vibe-wise.
Oh, this is a little bit of an early start on the Otacon.
All right.
I will say, starting Otacon, it still hurts quite a bit. different version this season. There's only
Thornbound.
This patch. There's only one, but this, regardless of the version, this seems to be getting melted. This might just be taken.
Yeah, Garrus secures it.
Close.
And there's no flowers to pick up, so W walk.
Is this Yoink the Ornhorn? I'd be shocked if he pulls this one out now.
I think Cube just wants to buy time, or maybe Cube just wants to throw hands. Hello, Knock Up City. Cube is getting so much damage down. Scout has to hold on to the Ornhorn.
He's coming in, and JDG is just completely cut off.
All right, Missing trying to buy space, but they have to find a way to reconnect. Scout has the Ornhorn, maybe trying to set up a big combo to get Shun and Missing in. All off to the side, bullet time with the crashdown. Magnetstorm melts away Vampire's health bar. Garrus off to the side, trying to get the Sand Soldiers up to push a lot of damage out himself. WE on the back foot, playing 5 versus 4. How much do they want to over-aggress here? Monkey runs out of subjugate timer for now. Shun guiding back very carefully. Starting to shoehorn WE in, trying to bait them further into a fight to get in this game.
Scout can grab another ult. His hijack is up. I think this is a very scary fight for WE. I would give this one. I think that
trapped.
Yeah. Look at Scout. He's not spotted.
Look at Missing. They just completely flank out. Scout gonna flash himself back out of safety. Taeyun follows after, but there's the Emperor's Divine. A huge play from Karis. Monkey trying to brawl way out. Karis with another beautiful flash. Leaves Pays in the dust. Just when we thought W were gonna get trapped, circled, and shut down. It's the fight out from Karis and Monkey that rescues them and might just get them the grand prize of an ace home.
The only one that goes down, but the Emperor made sure that they felt the pain of Shurima before he did. As that was a beautiful sidestep on the Shurima shuffle that came out from Scout. Now, I was scared of that fight for WE because the Vampire went down for free. I mean, that guy, he didn't...
with as well. Wherewithal on Team WE. Oh, Allah, my friend, that teleport was an errand play to try and save yourself, but he might actually... Oh, I thought he was going to escape Karis, but Vampire is there to sink his fangs into the croc. Good sidestep. They do commit the depth charge, but Allah will fall in the side lane once more in game 2.
Great read.
Oh my God,
Karis.
where did Missing just go?
Yeah, Missing gets picked as JDG was trying to hit.
That's the first time we've seen them in 3 Baron plays. Knock down a tier 2 in mid lane. The first time we've seen in 3 Baron plays across the series that we've seen WE knock down the inhibitor.
Going mid?
Yeah, I mean, Scouts, that was an interesting teleport. Scouts not respecting this potential
get
all call for the end. Scout's going to TP the bullet time, interrupted by a pillar. Monkey finally hits the pillar on the bullet time. The Nexus turrets are down. Shun's on the reset, though, going after Taeyun. And WE might have overextended themselves once again. Pays is stepping up and eviscerating all these health bars. It's got to be Karis and Taeyun. Pays trying to turn out the damage. It's the 2 big-time damage dealers for WE as Karis flies in after Pays. The Emperor's Divine, though, falls short. Pays survives. JDG survives with their Nexus exposed to keep the dreams of a sweep alive.
I mean, I just
like walk into unless they do it as a unit.
Yeah, they've got Cube. He can face tank. It's okay. That was a really nice backstep by Karis to step away from Scout, who, as well as Emperor's Divine, is still looking. He is spotted, but
going on to Missing. Scout. Oh, look at that. Emperor's Divine. It stops Karis in his track. Shun flies in as well, but he's getting blown away by the Sand Soldiers, and Karis pops inside. He's at just the perfect marker. Now the curtain call comes out. Pays and Alla trying to run away desperately. They should be able to escape for now. The 4th shot doesn't slow up Alla, but that should seal Baron and maybe the fate of JDG as Monkey is on the hunt. Monkey is looking to end this game.
Admirable effort. It was him and Shun trying to get into the back line. And Karis, he didn't play it perfectly, but he did play it well enough to escape and TP back. And we'll see if this spells the doom of JDG in this game, too, as it's 10 seconds on Shun and 20 on Scout. Alla's pulling the wave, doing a decent job of it.
Yeah.
He actually got the wave. I think that's a lot of tempo kill. But he reset. He's got no TP.
They're going to run their way up here. JDG, though, we're setting 2-minute kind of delay.
Missing, not spotted.
Off to the side. Neither is Alla. He pops the Dominus really early, and now he's going to back off with Dominus. They're going to try and turn back onto Baron. This is not low enough for them to thread. Monkey gets to walk in with a red carpet, and he's going to try and go after Pays for now. Monkey kind of getting confused, discombobulated with targets to go for. Baron's also at 2K. This is just chaos. Nobody wants to start the fight. Nobody wants to take the Baron. What are we going to do? Finally, the bullet time comes up. Vampire's getting denied. Health bar goes down. The Baron still only being done by Shun. Pays is going to turn his attention back over, and Pays secures the Baron. Now JDG, they just got to get out. Try to take as many Pearl Banners as they can with them. But Pays, he doesn't want to flash over the wall. All that goes down next. Pays, you should have just flashed out in the first place. But Scout on the back end, he's trying to end the game. Pays is going to try and stop the backs. Can JD make off the heist and just win this thing right now? Pays is sacrificing himself with Shun. They're buying so much time for Scout, but he doesn't have the wave to do it. And it's going to cost Pays his life. It's going to cost all of JG his life. And now WE
marching down mid. Scout's going to try and cut the wave. They only have 2 mage creeps, so if he's able to cut the next wave, he might actually be able to do it. But that said, Karis is basing. Okay, Scout's going to go back. Awa's going to be up. It's going to be a 5v3 with Pays and Shun probably not going to be in for this fight. I think that's going to be it. That should be it.
Nexus turret's down. Scout can't hold the line. Taeyun hits like a truck. The last Nexus turret still being safe. They're pulling Monkey under it. Karis is here, though. Last Nexus turret down. Last hurrah for Ola and JDG, but they just can't get to Karis. They can't touch the damage dealers. And finally, can WE end this game? Scout's trying to throw them all into the Nexus turret. The turret is going down. The Nexus will finally fall.
Damage on the Tibbers as well. And he's gotten a lot of changes in the last couple patches. We have seen a couple mid laners like have her sneak out. I will say I'm not the best in terms of this new Annie and some of He's going to look mid first.
Down, or he's going mid. Scout having stun up. Karis is just so dead. So caught out. The flash kind of had to go even further for Pays.
Dead.
They're going to use Tibbers to take aggro here.
Yeah.
Try. I mean, okay, you know what? It's too clean. Tibbers. Tibbers can get the job done. Cube gets a big shield.
Shun's coming though.
Got Shun with Lamb's Respite. If they can time this well enough, should be able to survive. The wave gets back towards the turret. Unstoppable form. Cube has bought so much space here, and JG are really stunted. They're going to finally commit to the dive. They'll finally grab it. Lamb's Respite used defensively. Karis is here. They're going to chase down Monkey on the top side, though, as well. Pay's going to flash after. Grab the Feats of Warfare. They do sacrifice Shun, though.
Just got to shut down. Meanwhile, W's bot lane, they're actually proxying, but Vampire just hit 6. Does Taeyun hit 6 off this creep? He might.
Oh my god, Vampire, you mad lad. Equalizer down. Vampire, the turret ramping up here. Don't know how many more turret shots he can take. Taeyun's waiting on cooldowns as well. The wave is thinning. They're going to have to go in now if they want it. And Taeyun perfectly times the flash to save the dive.
Taeyun was so actually found the kill onto Ala, and that XP between top laners is not nearly as grim as what it could have or should have been if Cube went down immediately on that dive. I was surprised they pulled the trigger when they did because Shun was rotating and they went before Shun got there, which for me was why that dive ended up being so sloppy. If Shun's there immediately, it would have been really bad. That's going to be an insta ult from Pays.
Yep, gotta respect him. Shun picks up 2 of the 3 grubs. I think he supersedes control the third one over towards Monkey, but Scout is in a pretty precarious spot himself. Does have the flash. He's just going to go down, and Scout's just going to flash back over the wall, get to safety.
Okay, that's going to be grub. There's no Lambs for Spite up, so to make sure that they deny the 3 grubs, that means that no pets spawn. This Monkey doesn't have flat or Smite. Sorry.
So Vampire's going to play bodyguard.
Vampire's no ult.
I was going to say, no Unbreakable will either. A lot of little poking and prodding.
You know, you don't really need Scorch in this matchup as the Orianna, because you end up winning this one pretty quickly. And to be fair, too, this series has gone super late and has been super haywire, so the value out of that's nice. We got the pause. Dragon.
Quickness.
Good stall.
Stalls. Dragon scored by Shun, who does have the Lamb's Respite to get over the wall if he wants. Cube trying to force the issue. Taeyun flies in with the Killer Instinct. There is the Lamb's Respite. Can anyone get knocked out of it, though? Shun's going to get himself out, but missing it. Pays are left in the pit and left to fall down to the chainsaw running, known as Taeyun. As Vampire says, serve up another one towards my AD carry. All 3 kills go the way of Taeyun.
By far the strongest member, and you know, he's the one where at this point of the game, if Annie's there, you can have a real pop and actually do some damage. As we see here, I mean, Karis.
Shockwave down. Tibbers falls. One more Q, though. Scout should be able to pick up the kill. That shield's going to provide a lot of value. Misses the ball. The push and pull. This 1v1, but it's Karis to flash and secure another kill.
6, where even in those series, like they were, you know, being competitive against teams like Top Esports, taking games off of AL. Now to
Scout.
Potential 6-game win streak.
Oh, Vampire. We're going crazy. There's the Shockwave I was waiting for, and Unbreakable will making a good dive until Tibbers comes out and says, you're not taking Scout down for free.
But still, WE, they're the team that's ahead, Slayer, and they're the team where, for WE, and just where they're at, again, I feel like with this comp, if JDG wants to run this, they need to get ahead, and they need to really snowball and run away with this game. They have not done that. This is a close game. And as time goes on, WE is going to be so much harder to take down later.
The only person I think is somewhat snowballed themselves into a big threat is Shun. All right, he's got 4th mark, 2-1. Very quickly on the way to try and get that Triforce done second. And that's why they picked this Kindred, right? You talked as much about missing on the Recon is a big win con or a big win pick for him, but Shun on this Kindred is as well. As he gets the mid-tier 1 turret down, does have to burn his flash to get away from Vampire. Missing with the quickness. Gets a flash matched here by Monkey. Well, let's see that Kindred in action. Maybe the Lamb's Respite as well. They're going to dive the Cassante, but without plates in a healthy wave, it's actually not really a dive because the turret gets turned off.
Cube.
So Cube in the 1 versus 4 going to go all out. Pull missing away from him.
He's
and
out.
Dash himself to safety. Hey, just
going to try and cut Cube off. Cube has not spotted this one, and of course he has that magic resist, not the armor.
Yeah, Kraken Slayer is burning through that health bar, missing in a flash, knock up, charm.
Of course, Shun, he brought the fire, and
Cube. Oh, the flash too. Maybe the
a
cannon.
lot of times on Recon, I like when you are able to piggyback off of some frontliners, right? Can pop the quickness and an E before you W. With no flash and really no frontliners for missing, I think it is a lot harder for him to engage.
Whoa, Monkey! Dragon wasn't the prize. It was Alla. They're going to flash after him as well. Taeyun gets the kill done, but it's Monkey again. The agency this guy brings to WE. Proving pivotal once more, but even in the 5v4, JDG, they want to fight themselves through this Dragon. It's slowly getting chunked lower and lower.
They've not found Scout. Yep,
Scout's going in. Tipper's down onto 2. The quickness follows.
Nice.
Huge knockups onto the backline, but Shun can't get through because Cube and Vampire are holding them in place. Monkey gets the Dragon, and now it's time for the Birds to sing the name of the World Elite. The Lamb's Respite only buys time for Shun, who cannot kite away from that Cassante. Pays falls. Next one up is Shun. The turret will barely save them for now until Karis flashes after, maybe a little bit too precariously. Taeyun can't get the kills done. Shun gets a heal back and a shutdown.
No.
Taeyun once again, right when WE think they have a winning play, they overextend and lose it all. Alla finds Vampire and JDG are
just not enough gas in the tank. Like, you have to overextend too much, and JDG is so squishy. And that Lamb's Respite, like, yes, it buys time, but this team is just so squishy compared to what WE has. They can't really stick around and find these fights, and speaking of sticking around, Monkey has stuck around. Let's see if he goes for the yoink or not.
Is he going to do it? Nope.
No, he's out of there. All right, good Otacon secure. Otacon secure, of course.
Take some harassment, but WE have to connect back with Vampire if they're going to decide to go in here. Looking for the stun onto Missing. They have the ball on top of Monkey. Missing going to get the charms down. Pays going to get hit by the shockwave. Goes into the Feather Storm. Scout gets the big tippers down, but it's not going to be enough. The Equalizer doesn't get enough value, and the tank of Vampire holding the front line strong. Taeyun is full HP in the Drake Pit. Monkey, not the same sort of stature. Karis, no shockwave available as well as the Void Seeker nearly finds its mark onto Missing. Taeyun going to try and find his way in, but it's really hard to get close to Pays or Shun. So that Wombo combo, while it was a bit messy, bought enough space for JDG to even up the Drake count.
Yeah, and we'll see if JDG feels frisky enough to actually start the Baron.
All right. Game of chicken between these big neutrals. Shun's going to start it. Kindred, Xayah burn through this Baron if they get too much time, and you're seeing it right now. Taeyun's trying to come back up here. W are going to have to start this fight without their AD carry, but JDG are looking for the turn first. There's the big tippers, and they find the pick onto Karis. No shockwave available for WE, and now they're completely split off. Down goes Cube. Scout, the guy, the veteran that was making so many mistakes earlier on in this series, might have just found the one ultimate on Annie that seals.
The Dragon Gambit. And JDG were on the Baron before they saw the Dragon fall, and it will pay off in a Baron for JDG. So the setup rings true, and Scout returning from base connects with a really big Tibbers. That pretty much just like
confident starting fights without that big Wombo. Missing goes flying in there, trying to get
How much can JDG get? I think the Shockwave is really important for WE. It can
so
really
vital.
hold, yeah, it can hold a lot of space. It's a threat against Pays, who is really fed at this point. I don't think that WE wants to pull the trigger without Shockwave available for Karis on that goal. And Scout is yet to be spotted. Scout does have flash up again.
Oh my god, but look at how quickly Kindred Zaya ripped that dragon. Monkey flying in as well after Shun, who's easily saving the equalizer from Ala, is going to cut off Cube and Vampire. Flying in is Taeyun next. Pays buying so much space. The Lamb's respite. The knockup from Vampire. They can't kill. Pays off. And boom goes the dynamite in the name of Shun. Gets the heal. Flying after Karis next. Shun will not relent. And sure, Taeyun finds himself safe on the back.
Ult in 2-1 for Taeyun. Yep.
Oh, he's going. He's going for it. Cleanses the stun. Can Taeyun do it? No. Shun survives again.
That's the dragon picked up. They get the Baron off the back half of that.
Even deeper. Down within them. They're just going to get chunked down. Their turrets cut down by a Kindred that is so infinitively scaled at 12 stacks. And
Shun.
It's just so hard to even
Lord.
get near this Kindred at this point.
What range do you even have at 12 stacks, right? Because it's a 4-7-10 breakpoint on the Kindred. So, yeah, Shun looks like he's got like 675 plus, or like around that range. He's outranging the Zaya. And again, as
astronomical numbers.
Yeah, as the Kaisa, it's really tough. Because you pretty much only can go in with R, and that is your shotgun comp. So we're going to see Vampire on a big flank here.
Wrapping around.
This is the hope.
Nexus turret's getting chunked down by these cannon minions. At some point, W, you have to go. You cannot let them whittle you down one by one. Vampire shows, flies in. Shun gets headbutted. Once again, Monkey flies in as well, but JDG stave off the play very, very well. Get back together as 5.
Still lose the turret.
Yeah, they lose the turret. Vampire doesn't have his ultimate anymore, so WE are starting to run out of tools.
It's a one-way trip for Vampire.
There's no more hemorrhaging left. WE are getting cut down. The equalizer burning through so many members.
Wait,
Monkey's up in the air. Monkey's down. Pays gets a huge blade caller back. Shun pops the stasis to try and save himself, but AWE are completely scattered. It's the double marksman that bring home the series for JDG.
I really...